Kody Brown seems to be living the high life, but given the current state of his life, the big question is, how? When Sister Wives premiered on TLC in 2010, it was the first reality show about a polygamist family on the network. But it wasn't the Brown family's first taste of the spotlight. In 2009, Kody Brown and his family were featured in a BBC radio story. After producer Tim Gibbons saw that story, he thought he might have a reality show on his hands. It's no stretch to say that before Sister Wives, Kody's life looked a lot different. According to various reports, Kody's lengthy job history includes working as a lumberjack, selling guns, and spending time as a traveling salesman. Though his first 3 wives worked various jobs too, the family went through a number of money troubles before TLC came knocking. In 2005, Kody and Mary Brown filed for bankruptcy. Janelle Brown filed in 1997, and in 2010, Krystle Brown filed for bankruptcy too. Sister Wives changed the financial landscape for the Brown family, but how much? When it comes to being a reality star, the salary range is pretty vast. Former Bravo star Kandi Burruss, for example, is reported to have made over $2 million a season for Real Housewives of Atlanta, while other reality stars actually don't get paid except in exposure. And Kody Brown? Well, it looks like the number falls somewhere in between $0 and $2 million. In 2009, just before Sister Wives started, E! News reported that other TLC reality families earned somewhere around $25,000 and $40,000 an episode at that time. But by 2018, a source claimed to In Touch that the Browns were making a lot more. Kody told them he'd be willing to have the network slash his family's pay from $180,000 for each adult to $180,000 total if it meant they could make season 12. Of course, the show didn't get chopped. The salary negotiation details remain unconfirmed, but it is known that Kody has turned to Cameo in recent years to help bring in extra dough, recording video messages for around $149 a pop. When Kody's 4th wife Robin joined the Brown family, all the way back in Sister Wives Season 1, the first 3 wives, Mary, Krystle, and Janelle, had concerns about what Robin would contribute to the family on a financial level. According to Hollywood Life, she apparently had $30,000 in credit card debt when she married Kody that the family had to pay off. Kody's first 3 wives, who have each since left him, pursued various lines of work over the years. Janelle was working for the government when the family was in Utah, but she dove into real estate when they moved to Nevada, and later became an entrepreneur. Krystle sells LuLaRoe products. Mary also works for LuLaRoe and owns a bed and breakfast called Lizzie's Heritage Inn. And as for Robin, well, she reportedly helps with the family's online store, but snide comments from some of Kody's children suggest she hasn't worked much otherwise. When Savannah Brown graduated high school in 2023, Dad Kody Brown wore a not-so-subtle piece of jewelry to the ceremony that got tongues wagging. The necklace happens to be a David Yurman piece that retails for over $1,000. The necklace is made of sterling silver, cobalt lapis lazuli, and sapphires. Some fans on Reddit felt that the necklace looked like a slightly smaller version of the Heart of the Ocean necklace from Titanic. This pricey necklace probably did not shock Gwendolyn Brown too much. A few weeks before the ceremony, Kody and Krystle Brown's daughter commented on certain family members' relationships with money, saying, "I think that my dad and Robin have a terrible habit of spending very crazy and not within their means at all." Kody and Robin have also been spotted wearing Rolexes on the show, and in season 18, Kody and Robin started wearing signet rings by David Yurman that run for about $1,000. Kody Brown's daughter is not the only person who has raised an eyebrow at the way he spends his money. The Sister Wives patriarch's financial habits have gotten a lot of heat from fans of the series too. In 2023, one Redditor went so far as to declare that Kody is clearly terrible with money, before going on to point out his various real estate moves and employment history. Other Redditors chimed in to express how frustrated they were to see him play with all of the money he receives from filming rather than put it toward more practical costs. As far as Gwendolyn Brown's concerned, severing financial ties with her dad is a wise money move. Janelle and Mary are kind of similar to my mom in that they're not going to be salty or petty and try to take money from him, even though they totally deserve it because he's been spending all of their money on whatever. They'll probably be a lot better off now that they're no longer with him and they're no longer financially tied to him.
It is a challenge working with my wives. Some days I don't want to work with them. I want to run away screaming.
Throughout Sister Wives, the Brown family has taken a number of family vacations, visiting everywhere from Massachusetts to Hawaii to Alaska. Naturally, there has been speculation about whether or not TLC foots the vacation bills. Travel can get expensive, especially with 5 adults and 18 children. As far as Kody's vacations that are not featured on the hit reality show, well, it feels more than safe to assume those come straight out of Kody's checking account. In 2023, for example, he and Robin Brown headed to Las Vegas, where they reportedly did some shopping. The two were spotted browsing the stores at Caesar's Palace during their stay. And apparently when he and Robin are out and about, he's more than down to shell out, a source told the U.S. Sun. All of Kody's grand gestures and lavish trips and shopping extravaganzas are to make Robin happy. He's spending a lot of money on Robin because that's what makes her happy. As Sister Wives viewers have seen time and time again, Kody Brown is not always the most fair when it comes to how he spends his money on his 18 children. And now that Robin Brown is his only wife, that's all the more apparent. In season 18, Kody gifted his and Robin's 5 children gas-powered motorbikes. The rest of his kids? Savannah said in an episode that Christmas was upsetting. It was really sad. It's my dad. Now I'm just angry at him. No gifts, nothing. In the same episode, Christine expressed how hard it was to watch her ex handle the holiday like he did. My kids felt neglected for years. It's just happening all over again. That said, Robin was not exactly thrilled either, saying, "I kind of wonder if Kody was trying to compensate with these bikes. Instead of the kids focusing on the fact that family isn't all together, he's gone. Look at this pretty cool thing over here. Compensate for what we're actually missing here." In 2019, the Daily Mail reported that Kody Brown and Robin Brown shelled out a whopping $900,000 on a massive house in Flagstaff, Arizona. And in December 2023, the U.S. Sun reported that they had big renovation plans for the 4,400 square foot home, which had reportedly increased in value significantly over the course of the pandemic. But the house has barely featured on the show, leading fans to wonder why. Kody Brown and all 4 wives originally planned to rent houses in Flagstaff as they waited for their shared compound to be built. However, when Robin's rental suddenly was no longer available, Kody went rogue and bought a house. This didn't go over well, as Robin did not necessarily want to purchase a house at that point. What's more, this house gave viewers another reason to believe Robin was Kody's favorite wife by a mile. A source told the Daily Mail, "Robin is getting the best place to live. Even her previous rental home in Flagstaff was almost 7,000 square feet, basically double the size of the other 3 wives' homes." When the Brown family first left Las Vegas for Flagstaff, Arizona, they scooped up 5 parcels of land and dreamed of building a compound where they could all live. They bought the property for $820,000 in 2018. The area, which is named Coyote Pass, is near the massive house Kody Brown shares with Robin Brown. After Kody's first 3 wives left the plural marriage, he decided to divide the property up. However, he did not divide the land up evenly, and that proved to be a source of drama. Another source of drama? The actual building process. They cannot break ground on construction until the land is totally paid off, so construction has not begun on Coyote Pass. As In Touch reported that Kody apparently owed nearly $5,000 in property taxes. He and Janelle have reportedly paid off 2 parcels, while Christine sold her parcel to Kody for $10, apparently just to get clear of the whole mess. Kody Brown is clearly a car guy, and if there's one automobile from his collection that is sure to stick out in Sister Wives fans' minds, it is the white Lexus convertible. In season 18, Kody sold 3 of his cars, including the white Lexus convertible, to a friend. After all of the miles and memories they'd shared, the white Lexus convertible was almost like a family member to the Brown family patriarch. Kody said, "This car has been part of my life for so long. This is the car I was driving when I first went public with the polygamy thing." When it came time to part ways with the car, his 4 wives all acknowledged that the vehicle held a special place in Kody's heart. In a confessional, Mary Brown remarked,
"The white sports car was definitely Kody's baby."
If it was his baby, it's in good company, considering he's had 18 other babies. But fans were skeptical, with some claiming that he still owned the car, and the sale was all a fake storyline for the show. And others reporting he's now driving a Mercedes instead. Looks like Kody may have found a new love. Shocker.